When two very popular knife designers collaborate on a premium design that's produced by a company known for making nice premium knives, expectations are going to be through the roof. So my expectations are high today as we look at a Bladesmith series knife from Kizer. We will be checking out the Styles and Munko Collab Ara. And I'm going to tell you if I would smash or pass. Stick around. What it do, Kripple Krew? EDCwithDBD, disabled but deadly, and courtesy of the Lefty EDC Pass-Around group, we will be checking out the Styles and Munko Collab Kizer Ara today. A premium offering in their Bladesmith series. Before we get into that, you know the drill. Stab that like button like you mean it. Make sure that you have /subscribe and that you've bashed that bell for notifications so that you don't miss anything like more awesome knife content and our upcoming 2,500 YouTube subscriber giveaway. So, why don't we start with what's in the box? In the box, you get a Kizer cloth, a Kizer sticker, a soft little velvet pouch for that, and a little cord to use as a lanyard. How about some stats? Our Kizer Ara, A-R-A, has an overall length of 7.07 inches with a 3.09 inch harpooned clip point. They call it a drop point. Nope, I guess that would be a drop, not a clip. Harpooned clip point blade of S45VN with a flat grind and a hand brushed satin finish. We have a handle length of 3.98 inches, titanium with snowflake titanium inlays, a tip up as the gods intended, right hand only, milled titanium pocket clip, a blade stock thickness of 111 thousandths, and a weight of 3.49 ounces. I would definitely consider this on the smaller side, like a medium EDC. Just over 7 inches. It's bigger than a fifth pocket for some. You know, for some people, this would be large enough to be your everyday carry. Ergos on it with my extra large glove size hand. Behind the pivot, I do get a full 4-finger grip without a whole lot of room back there for a XX or a XXX hand. In a saber grip, I'm locked in on that jimping. And then we do have this area up here that's got the flat spot on the handles and then that choil that I can use to throw my thumb up there and get some controlled strength in a cut. In a pinch grip, I can get that tip down with relative ease. I've got a spot for my finger out here in that little poonage. In a utility grip, if I want to use that nice fine point, they have carried a bit of strength out to that tip with this wedging. I like this very high flat grind. It does come down, let me grab a piece of paper, to a nice slicey edge. I really need to get some calipers in here so that I can check behind the edge measurements. But she's slicey, and that hand brush satin finish does look beautiful on there. These knives start at $159 with a shred or a carbon fiber inlay. There's 2 carbon fiber inlay options at $159 and $169. This snowflake titanium version is $199. And soon there's going to be a Krew wear version with Timascus for $299. Whoop. That was my fault. The thumb hole does give nice thumb flick and reverse flick action. It is a little bit of a smaller knife, so positioning makes more of a difference. but I can get in there and flick that open pretty easily. And we have very good lock bar access. So I can easily move that out of the way, rocket that out. Very nice solid lockup at about 50% with those steel liners. And yes, we are going to talk about that choice in a minute. It is rock solid, left, right, up, and down. So the action and the lockup feels very good. For a knife this nice, you know, I sometimes would expect internal stop pins, but the way that they have done the stop pin, it tucks in underneath the tang of the blade here, providing really good, a lot of contact and a lot of side-to-side stability. And then it drops in back here well behind our sharpening choil, so that if you ever did need to extend that choil, you could without issue. Our sharpening choil starts here, our plunge grind, and terminates right about here. So from here on out is sharpening life. And S45VN is one of the OG super steels, and it's going to provide very good corrosion resistance while also being tough and holding an edge for a decent amount of time. You know, it's one of the early, better rounded steels, more well-rounded steels. Our milled pocket clip is short, and let me see. It is very stiff in and out of my 511 tactical pants, but doable. I don't have to use two hands. It's just really stiff going in and out. We'll do a hardware check. T8s on the inlays. Love to see it because we've been seeing so many T6 inlays lately, and a T8 pivot. So T8 hardware all around. Love to see it. Ergos, you know, like I said earlier, they feel pretty good in this grip. It is a pretty small knife with a bunch of bellies, so turning it around for straps might not be the best. In a Beef Jerky Avenger, I am capped off here, and I don't feel like it's going anywhere. And in a Beef Jerky Defender, I am also capped off, and that pocket clip is in my hand, so I don't feel like it's going anywhere. Of course, we recommend a fixed blade for Beef Jerky defense, but you use what's on you. Now, I think these inlays are done very well. It feels good all the way around, and the way that they have brought this in the chamfer looks great. It's also on this side, and the snowflake tie backspacer looks great with a hidden lanyard spot so that you don't have to see a hole. I dig it. This is a phenomenal, I think, ladies' knife. Or if you have, you know, medium-sized hands, this would be a perfect EDC size. And I really like the blade shape. Now, I do have a couple of negatives on the knife. And it may only be me, but the first one is it looks too much like a Militar to me. We've seen a bazillion Militars come out of Kizer lately, and that's part of the reason I've been so tough on them. And while this has the beautiful artistic flair of a Munko blade, I don't think it moved away enough from the Militar look. If you told me this was in the Militar line, I would believe it. If this dropped before the Militar, oh man, I'd been all over it probably. You know, this is mini Militar sized. We'll give you a couple quick size comparisons actually. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 1 Cliff Rendition is going to be a full inch longer. It's going to be much closer to Spyderco Para 3 size, still slightly shorter. And we will also compare the Demco 80 20.5 3V Sharkfoot, which is going to be a bit longer than our Kizer Ara. So like I said, it's on that smaller side of EDC size while being above a fifth pocket. The similarity to a Milita might only be an issue for me. That's a personal subjective, doesn't affect the performance of the knife at all, perfectly centered. You know, so that's definitely might not be an issue to you. But here is the one thing that does bother me. If this is going to be in their Bladesmith series, we're going to be doing titanium. We're going to be doing snowflake tie. Same on the pivot collars and backspacer and S45VN. Why are we doing steel liners? It really makes this knife very, very butt heavy and throws off the balance quite a bit. If this had titanium liners, or if this was full tie on one side with a steel liner lock on the other side, you know, I would get it more. But I really think that the addition of steel liners brings down the premium feel of the knife. It should not feel so out of balance to me. Some people might like the weight back in their hand more, but it really does feel like that weight is way back in your hand. And with titanium liners, or if they had just done full tie on one side and then on this side done an inlaid liner for the liner lock, I think it would have really changed my opinion on this. Even if they inlaid those, but I mean, I know you're cutting out a bunch here for the inlay, so there really isn't a need to inlay them. Maybe they needed the steel to screw all of this into, but I just think that it really throws the balance out of whack. And I just don't feel like that's the right call. Full tie liners or full steel liners, I just don't get it in this build. Now, again, action is great. Ergos are nice for a smaller knife. If you got smaller hands than me, it's going to be very easy. Kizer makes a very nice knife. If you like this knife, if you like this design, don't let my opinions stop you from buying it. It will be linked below if you want to pick one up. But I am curious. Do you think this looks too much like a Milita? And does the steel liners affect your decision on whether or not you would purchase this at all? Maybe it's just me. Let me know down in the comments, though. I hope everybody has a killer day, night, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Until next time, stay safe, stay frosty. Most importantly, folks, stay deadly.